This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Yeah. So in this course, we are going to learn all these icons, what you are looking on this screen. First, what we are going to learn in the DevOps. DevOps means a very big ocean. So it's full of lot of new technologies, open source technologies. Whereas here, I'm going to start with the basic things or foundation things which are going to help you to learn and work and explore upskill in this DevOps. So uh, version control system is the first thing which is most important thing, and current trend with the DevOps, any cloud if you take, it is based on the Git. If you go for the AWS code is a Git. Inside it is a Git. So if you go for the AWS Azure and DigitalOcean, all these are clouds which are automatically giving providing the ready-made open source softwares available in their instances or in their virtual machines. So first we try to understand how this virtual machine will be created, what are the basic requirements, how they are making that one as so simple into the cloud. So the first part of this learnings, first we try to make our own lab on our laptops. Okay, so first Vagrant is one software which will make you help you to bring up all this whatever you are seeing on the screen. So first I request you to download the Vagrant and Oracle VirtualBox. So this virtualization concept we try to understand practically, so that you can you can run Git, you can make a Git server or a Git client in Linux box. You can make a Jenkins master and slave setup in Linux machines. And similarly, you can also work on Docker containerization technologies on the Linux systems. That is what the current trend, how it is working on. So if you go for the orchestration tool, that is Kubernetes is the most famous in the DevOps tools, are recently very good market with the combination of Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, in this year 2021, people are highly in the job search who are going to have these two keywords in their resume. They are sorted out, they are getting good jobs. So Docker and Kubernetes is a containerization technology with orchestration. So Kubernetes is going to give orchestration of cluster capabilities for the containers. And the last one, which is automation tool, Ansible. So Ansible is for the configuration management tool. So some of the people also why we are going to have two different tools into this. So Jenkins is also helps us to work on different builds and configurations, and Ansible is also works in the similar kind of activity, configuration management. So if you look at this Ansible is a server, it is going to be server based, and it is not agent based, or it is not going to be depend on some agents or different machines. Whenever you configure master slave configurations, Ansible will work from the server side, and it will be put onto the different nodes. So these are the basic things, that is what a DevOps. All right. Yeah, guys, any questions which I can take? Okay, so in this we are just starting our first session. So what is DevOps, how it is evolved, what are the things inside the DevOps we are going to learn. And whenever you start DevOps, is it one particular technology, or it is a software, or what is that one? So we try to understand in detail. And what is not DevOps also we try to understand. What is the scope of the DevOps? So what kind of roles we are going to have? What are the job titles are there for this? So that is we are going to understand in this session. So quickly. All right. So here the evolution. So if you're going to see the software development which is happening since around 50-60 years. So what are the programs which are written? They are making packaging, and then they are going to releasing, and they are running different business, different market, different areas. So if you are going to see the old model, which is standard model which they followed till up to the 20s, 2000. So it was waterfall model. So SDLC we are going to call software development life cycle. So that one is based on the step-by-step process. If one step is failed, it will go back to the previous step. So one step is good, then it will go to the next step. So step by step it is going to be move on to the next steps in the waterfall model, and it is going to take complete system understanding. You are going to have complete two different phases. We are going to have development phase and then a release phase in the waterfall model. So whenever the requirements comes, there is a systematic process, a sequence of process where you are going to work on the this waterfall model. So one phase completes, then only you can go to the next option, next step. If something goes fail, then it will go back to the previous phase. So that is the steps which are going to be happen in the waterfall model. Okay, so lean methodology. What is this lean? Lean word came from the one car company. Okay, that is Toyota company. So Toyota started this lean methodology. It is not a software development company, it is a car manufacturing company. So what they have developed, they first decided in 1990s. They had a big meeting saying that we are getting losses, how to overcome, how to make this one betterment. So each department they have different things. So in their CEO told that what are the things which we can exclude out of manufacturing, what we are delivering which is taking too much time, what we are going to exclude, those things identify and come back. So first 3 months they spent time for that one and did the analysis. Just a moment. Sorry, yeah. So the lean methodology was decided with the what are the small things which we can exclude or which we are not going to include in the manufacturing to deliver the new car, how fast we can deliver. So 2 points they are focused, what we can make to make fastest delivery, what are the things we have to make that production ready. Okay, so first make that smallest thing immediately and test it. Don't put all the things, everything is ready, then only go for that release part. So that's why this is called lean methodology. Okay, so lean methodology is developed from this non-software company. So the methodology was introduced to remove the unnecessary options from the system. It may be any system, this will be applicable. That is what identified by the software teams also. So if you go for the operating system, you can name it any operating system, any Linux operating system. Any one of you, can you tell me what is the Linux operating system which you are using? You are using, you know any one of them. Guys, it is a completely interactive session. Anyone can speak and anyone can answer. Guys, are you with me? Is I am audible? Yes. So anyone knows any operating system, Linux operating system?
Yeah, Shrikant, yeah, CentOS.
If you take CentOS, if I want to install in my laptop, okay, so what is the first step we are going to do? We are going to get an ISO image or get a CD, software CentOS. Okay, so if I am going to use that CentOS, installing part configuring part, it takes around 1 day. If I'm not an administrator, Linux administrator, it will take 2 or 3 days. Okay, so if I'm going to take Vagrant Oracle VirtualBox, it will be half an hour work to understand the things, and next time you will be running your same CentOS box within 1 minute or 2 minutes to bring up the VirtualBox. Okay, so how this is happen? Because of this lean methodology, they are made this Vagrant is a technology that is going to remove all the unnecessary options which are there in the operating system. You take CentOS, you use that one in your Windows machine. You can bring up as a virtual machine. You can switch between your virtual machine and in your Windows system. You do whatever you want to work on your Windows system, and you can also work on your CentOS system. Okay, so that is how the lean methodology works. The first principle is remove unnecessary options from the system. And second important point is adapt IT by removing unnecessary softwares. This is actually focused to maintain the fastest delivery. So it is going to be the features what we want to give from the one particular software which you are going to develop. Okay, so the software may be developed by some programming languages, C, Python, Java, whatever the languages, that based on the development requirements they are chosen for the each project. Okay, so here the communication, when you are going to deal with this kind of selection, removal, all those things, it will be big change. That is completely migration process. Okay, so this is a very good opportunity because all of the projects, software projects which are already existing, they are migrating from the data center systems or waterfall model software development to cloud based systems and going for the unnecessary things removal. Okay, so why it is most important is whenever you are putting something on the cloud, every service is chargeable. If I'm going to put some software, for example, I want to run a Java program, I need to copy the Java installer. After running the Java installer, then it is not required for me. Once installation is completed, that zip file or whatever the installer is not required. I have to remove that one. It's an unnecessary thing. So that is how we have to prepare ourselves when we are working on a cloud-based technologies. All unnecessary things need to be excluded. Okay, so this is how this is the process. This is the practice came from the lean methodology. So lean methodology is inherited into agile methodology. Whatever these steps are given here, you are focused on the fastest delivery, you are focused on the removal of unnecessary things which are included in the agile methodology, and whatever you do, one small thing what you are going to develop, that is one small thing, focus on that one and deliver it. So that is the best thing which you are going to do with the agile methodology. So when you are going to do in the SDLC waterfall model, it is going to take some weeks to deliver one particular feature. One feature you want to bring up in a product, it is going to be planned, coded and tested, then delivered to the QA and then move to the staging and development production. So development to production, biggest timeline it is taking weeks of time, but whereas here in the agile methodology it is fixing. We are not going to take too many weeks, only 2 weeks maximum to develop one small change, whatever the change it will be. And whenever you are going to take the change, you are going to have some value for that one. So the assessing of the value will be done at the time of planning itself. And this is very smallest piece which you are going to work on. That's why it is iterative and incremental process. It is focused with the process, adaptability, and customer satisfaction is the most important thing which is focused. So what customer is needed, that is first priority in the agile methodology. Okay, so in waterfall model, everything comes in a flow. If something asked by the customer, it will come to the next release, next feature, like that. But here in the agile methodology, agile it is rapid development. You will be getting immediately, that will be delivered to the customer. So the working style is much more fastest, easiest, and it is customer centric. So agile methodology breaks the pieces, whole product, into small pieces, and development cycle is moved towards not only big development of one big thing software. Now they are moved to the microservices. The smallest thing, whatever you are saying, that small things we can include, it will become a big thing. So same way here, we are breaking down entire software product into small pieces. We are going to call it as a microservices, and microservices supported by containerization. That is what Docker success story. That is how Docker came into the picture in the DevOps. Okay, so the small pieces is going to be running entire biggest project. Okay, so when it is biggest project, how it is going to work, how we are going to make, that is what we are going to learn in this DevOps. And the deployment process, deployment process together, it is going to give high availability in the Kubernetes architecture. Kubernetes architecture is supported by your agile methodology. You are going to have the agility in development and operations completely. You are going to have some specific nodes, number of nodes which you are going to build on your clouds, and they are completely monitored by these cloud infrastructures. If you go for the AWS is having its own monitoring system. If you go for Azure cloud, Azure is also having its own monitoring system, default monitoring system. Other than this, if you are having one specific application specific you want, suppose you are going for the entire Kubernetes cluster you want to monitor, how we can monitor? What are the deployment strategies we have? What are the tools which we are going to use on the Kubernetes? So these are all different technologies, tools which we are going to use in DevOps. That is what we are going to learn. That is what supported by agility. Okay, so the deployment process, whenever you take, how we can quickly deliver, as well as if something goes wrong, again you have to come back to the previous version, that is roll back we are going to call. So this is possible in agile methodology. So this is the main point where DevOps came into the picture, and that is what the birth of the DevOps happened. Okay, so hope you understood. Any questions about this evolution of DevOps? No questions. Okay, so waterfall model is a oldest model, and lean methodology, that is came from the Toyota. That is what very impressive, and we are using that in the agile methodology. It is inheriting that one. Small pieces we are making, and we are going to develop, we are going to put into our architecture. So first time DevOps term word is used by Patrick DeBoyd. So he introduced this one in 2009. So almost 11 years happened. So whenever he was discussing about the software development and operations, whatever administrators they are in that time. So system development, system administration, these are the two different teams were there. So first time the build and release, both are together. If you are going to work, then there is a lot of success story we can bring up, and a lot of success to the customer satisfaction. So that is what discussed in that, and that's why the name became the DevOps. Okay, yeah, why we need DevOps? What is the importance of this DevOps? Most of these questions are very important when you go for the interview also, right? So we are focusing on these interview questions as well. Right now, this is a important question, that is fastest time whatever you are going to deliver in the agile methodology, which is implemented by DevOps teams. That is fast time to market. Immediately you can send to the market that whatever you are going to build on the software development lifecycle. Lower cost to deliver. Why? Because all the DevOps tools which we are going to use, they are open source softwares. Whenever you first time you are going to make that one, it will be completely free of cost. And when you go for the scaling up or increasing the number of servers on that particular technology, it will be very less cheaper compared with the previous older structures. Okay, previously if you are going for one software, you need to buy the license, you need to get the contract of that particular software. So there is a lot of vendor locking process earlier. Now in DevOps there is no vendor lock process. Okay, so very limited process which is going to be there, that is based on the CNCF. So it is one standard maintained. Previously it is where we are going to depend on the companies, software companies. Now you can switch from one cloud to another cloud also. So you are not belongs to one fixed thing. You can jump from one technology to another technology easily, because everything is service. You can run something service. Serverless services also came into the cloud. One service you have written in AWS, the same service you can use it on Azure function. Okay, so the Azure function what you are using, same thing you can go into the Oracle cloud, you can ask Oracle function to run the same thing. So you just carry out what you have developed, you put into the repository and you can use that one. So that is how the quality of working is so simple, easy in the DevOps. So highest quality, and you can have less number of bugs because smallest things are there and easy to close. That's why you don't find big bugs or longer time taking bugs. And nowadays people are looking, the products are developed in such a way, biggest software developments which are there earlier, they want to go for multiple clouds. They don't want to rely on one cloud. If I'm going to put entire software development on one Azure, it is going to work. It is running on US, for example, that data center or region is there in US, and they always go for the another alternative like Australia or UK or German, some other region also they want to look for another data center or the cloud where you are going to select region. Okay, so multi-cloud is always safer to make sustainability or disaster recovery in case of anything happens to the business. So that is the reason people go for the multi-cloud architectures. Okay, so any questions guys, why we are going to use DevOps? What is the importance of that one? What are the points we need to be understand? All clear? Okay, okay, so all about what is this DevOps symbol, DevOps icon, DevOps logo. It is infinity loop, because always people are developing every phase you can go to the previous phase. It is easy to go back or roll back, is simple, as I mentioned in the previous slide when we are talking about agility, right? So code development will be happen only when planning is successful. Plan is ready, go for the code is ready, go for the build. So build means what? One Java program you have written, next step is create a jar file or war file. Similarly, you can go for any kind of programming language and you can develop it, and then after developing you are going to pack entire software, entire that project, and then you are going to do a test on a one particular server. If test is successful, all the functional flows are successful, then go for the release. That will go to the pre-production. Release will be tested, regression test we are going to call. So all those are successful, then only it will go for the production. So once it is goes to the production, the deployment process in the production means live environment, where it will go to the customer. So once it is reached to the customer, you are going to have people need to be work to monitor. Okay, so you are going to have people need to be work on your project, monitoring, keep monitoring parallelly. They are going to work on deployment processes, they also want to work on start and stop services. So operate and monitor, these are the activities which you need when the project is on live. Okay, so this is completely endless loop. This is a cycle completely, and whenever something goes wrong, it will go back. Something goes wrong in monitoring, they come back to the planning. If something goes wrong in the operations, start and stop, then we'll go back to see what is happened in the deployment. If planning of this deployment is failed something, then go back to the release and check previous release what is there, apply that one. So this is a every step you can go back and do the previous activity, previous release, previous version. So that is very simple, and it is going to be continuously incremental process, or you can go forward, go back at any point of time. Okay, so that is how DevOps is all about. That's a symbol represents that infinity loop. All right, so why is over. Now we are going to understand what is DevOps. Is it a product? Is it a software? No, it is not software product. It is not one particular technology. You are having every technology from different vendors, different teams. If I take Git is one open source software which is came from the Linux kernel who written by the Linus Torvalds. He is given this Git. Git is a distributed source control system. Okay, so that is one tool which you are going to use. Another example, if you go for Docker, Docker is containerization technology. It is not belongs to one company. It is going to have a lot of open source development teams are working, and they are distributing, they are contributing, developing the containers or images. Okay, DevOps is a methodology. It is not a product. It is not particular technology. It is a methodology that unites the often separated functions like software development, software operations. So it will be one single team, one team, and it is integrate, everyone work together, contribute, or you collaboratively work together. Okay, so it is a continuous process, and whenever you are talking about this DevOps, lot of times you are going to say continuous word. Continuous learning is important. We are learning, you are learning, I am learning, and we are going to explore this DevOps. So when you are going to able to work on DevOps, it is breaking down the barriers between the dev and operations ops. So it is going to leverage people, process, the gap which is there, development team doing so and so, then administration team doing so and so. So these kind of things are gone. Now everything is in one team, DevOps team. Okay, so what is live happening, that is known to the development team. What is development, which code is changing, and that will be known to the production team also. So that is how DevOps is mixing all kind of people together, work together, collaborate. So it is not one technology. So simultaneously collaboration is most important thing, and where we can collaboratively work on innovations across the entire software development, release process, development process, operations process. We are going to have, right? So we are going to have feel like that they are single team. There is no multiple teams, admin team or DBA team or like that we have earlier in SDLC. Now it is mixed up with all type of technology specialists in the same team. They will pick their work, what they have knowledge, they will work on it, and they can learn, they can program. There is no limitations for anyone. Anyone can learn coding, anyone can develop, anyone can work on the installations and configurations, anything. Okay, so that is what DevOps means. Okay, guys, any questions? What is DevOps? Okay, how do we achieve this DevOps culture? So the culture will be made with by learning, thinking, code. So it is delivered to the actual customers focus, and when you are going to plan, it is going to run on the different platforms. As we discussed, different clouds are supporting DevOps, and whenever you go for the AWS DevOps engineer, that is a title we are going to have. If you go for Azure DevOps tools, there are tools only specific to this DevOps operations, right? So we have a lot of things coming up for the DevOps, and we have 5 different phases to understand how this DevOps culture will be developed. First thing, there is collaborative development will happen on your project, and then we are going to have the continuous testing. Whenever something is developed, coding is developed, then go for the continuous testing. Once testing is successful, then continuous integration will be happens on your projects. So when this is continuously happening, the project is developed, one particular feature is developed, immediately it will be tested and will be going to the production because it is integrated immediately. So there is no dependency, there is no stopping point, or you have to wait for a number of months to get one feature. It is not like that. Immediately you are going to get the feature because it's a DevOps culture, because everything is automated. Build, development and integration process, delivery, deployment is automated. That's why your DevOps will be fastest way to market your software products. It is continuously supporting not only these testing, integration, delivery, deployment, monitoring is also supported. That is what required for the your live environments or production environments in your projects. Okay, so these are the 5 different phases DevOps is going to bring to any project. What you are going to have: collaborative development, continuous testing, then continuous integration. Testing is successful, then go for the different phases of that integration tests. Continuous delivery. Once test of this integration is successful, go for the delivery to the live environment or deployment to the production environment. Once it is production ready, then what you are going to do? Then you are going to monitor, operate, start and stop your services on your cloud infrastructures. Okay, so these are the important 5 phases which you are going to see in DevOps culture. Okay, so in this course, what we are going to learn? We are going to learn this source code repository management and packaging your system for development. So development teams, they are going to work on different tools. It's not must you have to use Maven only. So I'm just giving one example, like Maven is packaging tool that is going to compile the Java programs and then package jar files, war files, generates that one and put into the repository, corresponding repositories. So that is the fastest way which we can do. If you look at previous Java programs, they are compiled with the ANT scripts. Now latest technology came, Gradle. Okay, so each one is having different advantages. That is not at the right now, we are not going to discuss that point now. Okay, so what we are going to achieve, that is collaborative working, means where all the team members can share their code at one place. That is possible by using the distributed source repositories, where you are going to put in Git repositories. So everyone is having the code. One server is there, everything goes there. If server goes down, everything project will goes. Not like that. You are going to have the project. It will be running on the Git repository. You can create Git repository. Somebody is administrating this Git repository, and all the development team, they are going to contributing the code. Okay, so the code will be you are going to put into the Git repositories, and you can have the interactive planning for every page. The development lifecycle will be simplified, and you are going to have better control on your project, the coding, and you can also predict what you are going to release, when you are going to release. So what time is going to take to release. These are the basic things which you can have from the collaborative development. Okay, any questions, guys? Why we are going to use Git, Maven? These are the tools, these are the DevOps tools. These are the tools which will help you to work together to work collaboratively. And it also supports, this Maven is also supports the one extra step, that is once that product compilation jar file generated, then you can also do testing also, and it will be happen automatically, continuously happens whenever this is triggered, and Maven next step it will automatically triggers this testing. So DevOps is not really realized without continuous. There is no DevOps. Every time you're going to do something, there is zero downtime they want. Immediately this is happening, then go to the test. Smoke test, regression test, acceptance test, user acceptance test. That will be automatically triggered whenever you are going to opt your DevOps. Okay, so different types of tests will be implemented, accomplished in your automation testings. So all these are different stages which we can bring up in the DevOps culture. Okay, any question, guys? Okay, so talking about what is DevOps again. So now people are working on microservices. Microservice technologies, monolithic technologies. These are the two different technologies. So if you are going for monolithic, it is the biggest software package which you are going to develop. And if you go for the microservices, small pieces which you are going to develop to accomplish a big task. Okay, so both will be in the market, and right now 50% of market which are going towards the cloud technology, they are moving towards more microservices, migrating from this monolithic to microservices. Okay, so how this is achieved? Using the continuous integration process. When it is small piece, you have to test it successfully, then only you can send it. So that's why this continuous integration is very important point when you are working in the DevOps culture. So continuous integration is a practice of checking the code what you are going to develop. It may be any language, to share into your repository. So we are going to learn about Git, how to use the Git commands, what are the setups, how the server will work, what are the basic things which you need to run. So all those things we are going to have in every team. We need to learn all those things. So and test each time. Whenever you do some small change also, if I'm writing one if else condition, in the else if I'm writing something, immediately test it. So that is what you are going to identify immediately. So whenever some small change, one line change has also happened, immediately test it. That is what you are going to have in your continuous integration. And immediately you are going to fix them. And whenever there is something is wrong, then you have to fix. So this fixing is so fast when you are working on the DevOps culture. It is easy and get shiny, and new features will come very fastest. If you see the example of real implementation, Amazon is a success story. They came with the DevOps culture. They are using the releases, the features, updating in one day, in one particular day. They are going to update some number of products, number of structures. They are modifying thousands of features coming into their e-commerce website. Thousands of features. That is a dependency. E-commerce is required every day. You need to update. Where if you go for the banking example, bank doesn't require those changes. Okay, so that is how it is going to work in real time. And this is continuous integration process helps to testing all types of changes. Whatever code is changed, that changes will be tested. Okay, so continuous testing is done, then what you are going to have next step is immediately you are going for the delivery to your live environment or production system. So when you are going for this setup step by step, first development, then testing, the testing again, integration testing, acceptance testing, everything is done. Go for the delivery of your continuous process, where the live environment is ready to accept your changes, what you are having the new feature, or you have some adapting some immediate fixes, hot fixes we are going to call. So hot fixes, that is emergency things which are required for the live or production systems. Okay, the production systems are like which are going to be immediately customer is going to work or use that one live environment we are going to call. So every change what you are going to deliver, it will be first on the staging, then it will automatically go to the production. So what we are going to do before production, we are going to do regression test, load test, everything is automated. Once it is successful, then push to the next level live environment. Okay, and it is one click through will happen in the DevOps. Previously, it was taking a lot of time, lot of process oriented. Now it is everything automated. So the how that automation setting is going to be done, that is what DevOps engineer is going to be required to do. So it is primary goal when you are going to work on enabling this automation processes, different level production levels. We are going to work on different application boards, and we can work on the different continuous delivery things which you are going to develop, which you are going to work on Jenkins. We are going to learn what is Jenkins, how we can make master slave configurations, how it is going to run on the AWS cloud, how it is going to work on Azure cloud, anything, any one of the cloud we are going to test and understand the things in detail. Okay, so continuous deployment is very important when it goes to the production live environment setup. Okay, so continuous delivery, continuous deployment, these are the two different phases. Delivery and deployment, if you go for up to delivery automations, then it is before production. If it is going for the up to continuous deployment, it is also including the production automation. Okay, we'll see that one in detail when we come to that learnings in detail. So when we come to the Jenkins, we understand what is continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment. So here is one small picture to understand what is the difference between this continuous delivery, continuous deployment. Okay, so if you take this first picture, unit testing, platform testing, delivery stage. So these are different things, and whenever you see here in between one test to another test, automation, auto. So if you see, continuous delivery is happening up to the application acceptance test. Till that one automation is there, means your Jenkins job something, it is testing on different servers. Let's say it is having 4 servers, first unit test, next platform test, then delivery stage, then application acceptance test. So all these are successful, then it will go to the next level. Here manual, here is a manual process. So it is going to deploy, somebody will be there, operations guy is going to tell yes it should go to the production. So operation manager or architect, they are going to tell the DevOps architect, they tell that okay, it's okay to move to the next level. Okay, so this is continuous delivery process. If you go for continuous deployment, is this acceptance test, after that immediately going to the production, deploying to the production is also automated. There is no manual interaction, no man is in between this. Okay, so this is continuous delivery, continuous deployment process. The business case, there are a lot of ITs moving to the live. They are working on this cloud infrastructures. They need these kind of setups, these kind of testing environments, and moving towards the production live. So limitations are there, a lot of limitations that depends on the project to project. There, if you are going for banking or insurance kind of projects, you cannot automate everything. That is, continuous deployment is not recommended for such kind of products. Okay, such kind of software developments. So the first model will be implemented for those projects. Second model will be implemented for e-commerce kind of projects, where it is required very fast to deliver to the customer live. Okay, so that is what is the difference between continuous delivery, continuous deployment. Only just 2 pictures you remember. The point is here, exact critical point is manual step, where you are going to have After this application acceptance test, it will go to the deploying to the production systems. Okay, so that is how that is the most important question that could be asked in interviews as well. So if you take complete picture of DevOps, how it is going to work, all the phases, 5 phases which we discussed, right? So plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, and operate. So all these phases we are going to call it as a DevOps, and continuous delivery is up to release. Continuous integration is up to testing. Agile development coding, so up to plan and code, that is agile development process. Okay, so entire story is collaboration story. So that is what we are going to get in the DevOps life cycle, DevOps cycle. So continuous monitoring, that is operations guy, that is we are going to learn one of the monitoring, how it is happens, where it is happens. Final life cycle is this one. Okay, any questions? So this infinity loop is somewhat splitted like butterfly. Some left side it is going to start the process and goes to the right side. The story of the life cycle in the development. So code, whatever you can plan and code, and it will go to the Git repository, RSVN, any repository where code repository is going to be store the programs. After that, code is stored, fine. After that, we are going to build. For building code, there are a lot of tools are there, Java based if you see, and Maven, Gradle. These are tools which can work on different programming languages also. After build is successful, we can go for the testing part. So this is Selenium and JUnit. These are the different tools which are helping different biggest projects. The project may have UI, product may have some only backend systems, programs which runs on the database. So everything you can test, automate, test, and give the result. So all the results are successful, then it will go to the integration part and it will be going for the deploy into the production. So this part, when you are going for the deploy into the production, you may use any one of the tool. Here Ansible comes into picture. So here you are going to have multiple servers to work on cluster architecture, where you are going to deploy the application into hundreds of servers. In some projects it may be thousands of servers also. So once that servers are all intact and it is taken the deployment successfully, or if you roll back, these two things are taken care by these tools, configuration management tools. Okay, any one of the tool you can use, but right now most market occupied is Ansible. Coming to the operations, you can monitor, you can see even this Ansible is some part of the operations it is going to support. It is going to maintain, because it is a DSL supporting coding which is going to have in this Ansible. So whatever you define, desired state, we are going to call desired state. For example, Tomcat, I want up and running. This is the desired state in production. So you tell that to Ansible, Ansible make it running, keep it running on the different machines. In 100 machines you want Tomcat up and running, it will make it running. So that is a desired state. So that's why it is so popular. It is easy to maintain and you don't need to worry what is going to be happen in the back end and all those things. Okay, and monitoring part, you can see here New Relic and Sensu, Nachios, and now CNCF is came up with a lot of new technologies as well. Whenever you go for the deployment, this operations part, this is if it is taking the cluster, Kubernetes cluster, and this part is changing to different new technologies also, where you can include that monitoring tools also on the cluster, on the Kubernetes cluster. So that is the requirement came into this DevOps. So we are going to see all those, what are the tools which we can learn, which we can explore. If you really see what are the tools, these are infinity tools which are coming, because everything open source, all these are keep on growing. Okay, don't worry about all those. We are going to take some important things and which are fundamental, which are essentials, which we can learn in our DevOps course. Okay. So what is not DevOps? DevOps is not a wholly and a union of the development and operations teams. Okay, so it is not just a union; it is a collaborative work, working together. No name blame stories. So you're going to have everything is maintained by one particular team, and one only existing of new clouds, that is focus point, and single product, one product you are going to focus. And DevOps is not a myth. It is not a myth. It is not a product. So DevOps does not means that developer are responsible for operations. So operations means why it is happened, what is happened, code is changed, something is happened. So you are not blaming anyone. You are going to take entire team collaboration is going to be taken care of that. So DevOps does not means that governance and compliance. Sometimes you're going to check auditing, sometimes you're going to work for this particular compliance. For example, banking system need to be scanned entire logs, and every setup whatever you are communicating, you have to comply with the HTTPS. So it should be using the secure rules. You have to follow that. So it is not one particular thing. It doesn't mean something is governance. It is implemented by the system. It is not for one particular thing you need to do. Okay, so DevOps is not for all these things. Importantly, it is not a product, it is not a tool, one single tool. It is having multiple teams working together and multiple softwares will be there. So what is the scope of this DevOps? DevOps is not a software, but it is a methodology. When you are adapting this DevOps, later industry is going to broadly having this one, and most of the all the projects will go for the DevOps only. So DevOps is going to be de facto standard for software development lifecycle. Nobody is going to use any other types of lifecycle. You're going to have full knowledge, gaining knowledge on the complete infrastructure and development lifecycle. So previously development team think about only coding, and infrastructure guy knows only servers, how many servers, how it be robust, how to make it running or monitor, those kind of things. So now both are mixed, both will know each other what they are doing. Early advantage of the DevOps can be helpful, grow in your market, grow in the software development life cycles. It will be easy. Higher earning scope also there, feature also there for this DevOps. So what are the titles we are going to have? DevOps engineer is a basic starting word which you are going to use. Then people are also looking for the senior DevOps engineer who are 4+ or 6 years of experience people. They can be called a senior DevOps engineer. Okay, then if you go for more than that, people are already working on so on different software life cycles, and they know much in previous waterfall model. They know softwares clearly what need to be delivered. They are going to call SREs, or they will be on production side systems. Operations is the more important to them. Then they will be called operations engineers. Okay, so these are the different titles: SRE, operations engineers, a lot of other words also coming. So last year, if you see, these are the different technologies grown up, artificial intelligence into different development life cycles they introduced. Even AWS is also focusing on the machine learning, artificial intelligence. Google Cloud already they are successfully implementing these machine learning strategies. DevOps they already there 10 years. Since 10 years they are with cloud, internal cloud they are using, internal storage they are using. But now they came up outside GCP. So every cloud platform is coming up with these upcoming technologies and a lot of new scope for learning this. Okay, so any questions, guys? No questions? Okay, I have some questions. These are the questions. So is DevOps is only cloud or anyone can use, or it is useful for previous old learners? The servers which are there in data center, can I use DevOps? Yes, absolutely. You can use in DevOps in previous structured or the VMs which are there. There also you can use DevOps technologies. The second question is DevOps is related to cloud computing only? No, it is not. You can work DevOps methodology in any technologies. It is not only cloud. You can go for non-cloud, smallest startup companies also. They are using DevOps. Biggest companies, biggest worldwide spread companies also using this DevOps. Okay, so how the DevOps is different from traditional IT? Traditional IT we already discussed, that is SDLC, which is using the waterfall model, that is traditional model. It is completely slow process. If you look at the previous model, right now everyone want immediately. The customer is waiting for the updates very fastest way, that is provided by the DevOps. Is DevOps is better than Agile? Agile is internally you are going to have implementation of your DevOps. So is it going to be replacing Agile? Yes, you can say Agile is replaced. Your Agile is agility which you are going to have all the methodology inside your DevOps culture. So DevOps engineers in demand? Yes, we have a lot of demand. Next 5 years you're going to have this title. Whoever working on DevOps engineering words, they are definitely have a lot of scope to grow. A lot of technologies also coming in this way. So what does DevOps engineers will do? DevOps engineers, they are going to do development and operations both. They are going to do small codings and small installations, configurations. Any software you take, you will be doing. So some point of time you'll never do any installations also. If you go for the Docker, you name it, you will get it as a image or container. So simple. When it is customized, you know how to customize your containers, how to run the containers. It is so simple, easy to work in DevOps engineer role. Okay. So does DevOps needs any coding? You don't need a particular programming language, but if you know coding, you have the logic to build, then that is enough. You don't need very expert in coding. Very small pieces you need to, because codes already available in GitHub. A lot of codes are available. You just need to modify, understand the code, and just modify a few changes. That is enough to run your DevOps engineers. Coding. So coding is not compulsory, but you should have basic understanding. What kind of coding? You should aware of basic shell scripting, bash scripting, Python programming, or anything which you feel comfortable for operations and running things need to be done. So those things are very simple, easy. We'll see that one. No worries. We try to do step by step, one by one, small projects at each learning. Then you can understand what kind of coding is required for that. Okay, so we are having the basic understanding what is DevOps, and this is completely online course. And I'll stop here about theory story. Guys, anyone having the laptop ready with who can volunteer with me to share the screen? Ready? Okay, Raj. So Raj, I'm making you presenter. You can share your screen. Yeah, as I asked you, just go to the browser and try to download the software Vagrant and Oracle VirtualBox. Yeah, Raj, you are the presenter. You can share your screen. I'll guide you how to.
Yeah, 1 second.
I'm able to see your screen. Good. Just go for your browser.
Yeah, 1 second.
Check your time. Yeah. Still working. Okay. So Google search for the download Vagrant. Are you still working in the office?
Yeah,
If you are on VPN, then it will be difficult, Raj.
no, it's not a VPN.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, download Vagrant.
Oh, no.
Just type Vagrant. 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 Download Vagrant.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, select first one. Vagrant. Vagrant. Yeah, download. Click that link. First link, HashiCorp is a company which is going to provide our software, Vagrant. Okay, so you can use either Oracle VirtualBox or VMware to provision the Linux boxes. Okay, so right now you are on Windows system and Windows 64 is your choice. So please select that one and download. So if somebody else working on some MacBook or something, then you can use according to your platform. So here, as per the platform, you can see the tabs, right? Mac OS X, Windows, Linux. So as per your Linux or whatever the operating system, then select that and download that software. Okay, so Vagrant is so simple, smallest. Save that one. And can you open another tab and download Oracle VirtualBox, Raj? Just search for the Oracle VirtualBox download. So now what we are going to do two things means this we are going to understand how the virtualization is going to work in your laptop. So the same thing is taken on your cloud as well. That is how the clouds are working with the images creation or instances. If you go for the AWS, EC2 instance we are getting, right? So virtual boxes, they are all virtual boxes, smallest sizes. So we are going to use AWS means it is going to have 1 GB RAM. Yeah. So select the first one, Oracle VirtualBox, download.
Yeah, I already selected.
Oracle VM VirtualBox, not that one. Now just go back. One open source will be there. I think. Go back to the previous search. uh, virtualbox.org is there. Yeah, click that one. Yeah. So there are two projects actually. One is open source, another one is Oracle owning that product. I think the first one is Oracle owning, that is a private. Yeah, this is a open source. Okay. So now you select the Windows host. Yeah, click that one. Download. I think Vagrant is completed download. You can run that Vagrant installation now. Just do Control J or you click on the downloads. Oh, still it is going on. Last minute, I think. Yeah. So while it is keep downloading, we'll do some other things for bringing up that. Okay. So just go to the command window, CMD. Can you type CMD? Start button CMD, Raj.
1 second.
Okay. Okay, so you just go to the first one and see that one, is it going to have Vagrant command running, you can run or not. Check Vagrant, enter. Just do Vagrant space, okay, that's it, enter. Vagrant, enter. See that, is it working or not? Yeah, it is not there. So you run that installer, which is already there in downloads. Yeah. Can you able to run that installer? Hmm. No, it is not there. So you just need to run that installer. See that? Control J. Or in your downloads also, it will be there, right? Go to the downloads folder. Yeah, Vagrant. All right. Here's a simple next story. So you can simply install. I think your RAM is fully occupied or something slow is happening. So if you are not using many applications, you can close, which will run faster. Okay. So while it is installing, we'll go to the browser once again and try to search for the CentOS box. Yeah. So just search in Google, say that CentOS Vagrant box. CentOS Vagrant box.
Okay, Pawan.
Yeah. So CentOS, just say CentOS and then space Vagrant box. Yeah. Enter. So it is going to give one small code. Okay. You can take any one of version which you like. You want to go for 7 or CentOS 8. 8 is the latest version. 7 is the old version. So you can discover the boxes which are already there in the Vagrant cloud. So it is available on the cloud. So why we are using Vagrant means Vagrant is going to give you smallest, tiniest size of the Linux boxes. So why I'm saying tiniest, stressing again and again means if you install CentOS on your system, it will take 6 GB of hard disk, ISO file, all those things. And this box will be some MB size, 600 MB or 800 MB will be the size of this box. So smallest size. And it will remove all unnecessary GUI things which are not required to run in the server. So it will be having only necessary things. As I told you, Agile methodology implemented by inheriting the lean methodology. So which are not required, that will be already not there. Even Docker is also runs the same style. The kernel will be running in CentOS Docker containers. You don't find unnecessary things. You want kernel of CentOS, you will get that one. That's it. Okay. So here, do you have one editor? Notepad plus plus, you have, right? Very good. So just open that one and put these lines. Go to the new window. Yeah. So when you search for the CentOS Vagrant box, you have some 4 lines, right? Just copy that 3 lines. Okay, put into your notepad, just paste it. Don't save this one. Okay, so once that Vagrant installation is completed, you need to install the Oracle VirtualBox. So here, if you see the code content, if you see first line is just telling use that configuration with the version 2. And whenever you do this do config is one variable here. So in this program is called Ruby programming. So Vagrant uses internally Ruby scripting. So what you are going to see here, just one thing you are telling, VM, what virtual machine which you are going to create a box from the CentOS 8. If you want 7, you just say /7. So you will get that Linux box created on your Windows system. Okay, so we are having these customizations in the Vagrant file. When you go to the, can you just go to the browser once again? I'll just explain some more points about this Vagrant. Yeah, just go to the new browser tab and type there DevOps Hunter. DevOps Hunter space Vagrant file. In Google, just type DevOps Hunter space Vagrant file. DevOps Hunter, a single word, don't give space. It's our blog where we have a couple of Vagrant file. Vagrant file is again without any space. Vagrant file, single word. Okay. Search. Okay, so there are a lot of things. So yeah, you can go for the first link. Yeah, click that one. Okay, so just scroll down. You can see the Vagrant file on the page.
Okay, just let me know when can I stop. So
Yeah. So the bottom side you can see just Vagrant file, right? Vagrant file code is there. Okay.
yeah.
So just copy that content and put into another Notepad++. I can talk about those lines. Yeah. Only that. Oh, very big.
It's very big.
Very big. Okay. So don't worry about how much code it is, but yeah. So this way we can increase requirements. You can tell a lot of things about what you want in the code. Yeah. So just copy that one and put into your Notepad++, new Notepad++. So when you start, only 3 lines. After that, as per the requirement, as per the demand requires, what you need in the box, you can add a lot of things code, and lot of these codes are already available in GitHub. You don't need to write anything. So what is happening here is there are 2 boxes which are you are going to provision with the line number 9. You can see the box name is Ubuntu Lineal 60.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can give one IP address also assigned to your box what you are going to use. And whenever you are using this Linux boxes, it is going to use the virtual network IPs, virtual VIPs, which will be automatically created. And whenever VIP is there, one box we are creating, one IP is created. One IP is created, one network interface card is also required. NIC card you are going to call. So that NIC card names also you can tell in this Vagrant file. And whenever you create one box, how much memory you want to allocate, RAM. So 2048 is a RAM. So if you want to give 1 GB, what you are going to give in place of 2048, you simply say 1024. If you want to give more, that is your choice. If you want to give less, that is your choice. So where you are going to tell everything you are putting into the one file. Very simple. So if you are going to use your laptop, 8-core laptop or 16-core, so these cores are number of CPUs. So you have for Windows, but Windows is not using all those CPUs. So 2 cores you are going to use it for one virtual box. Another virtual box is there, another 2 cores you are assigning. So like that you can create 2-3 machines with one single Vagrant file. Okay, so don't worry this much code, this all those things. What are the things we can include? I'm just telling with this example. At the moment, we are just try to understand what is virtualization. Check that installation is completed.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Still
still
going.
going.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
means we can deploy n number of virtual machines by using this code, right?
yes, correct. So you can make master slave machines within your laptop. You can bring up as per your RAM size permits. If your RAM is 4 GB and you are trying to make 2 or 4 these boxes, it won't fit. It won't work.
Yeah,
So always better option. How much you can plan is 50% of your actual physical RAM is there. From that one, you can play with your Vagrant file. Okay, so if I'm having 16 GB RAM, then simply I can play with 8 GB RAM for this Vagrant boxes. Okay, all right. So we are running almost 1 hour time now. A little bit time it is consuming. Maybe you can clean up some temp space also. It's also good, which makes faster.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
Actually, I need to close all the stuff.
Friday evening, you should not touch office tools. You have to use.
My timings will be from 5 to 2:30, right?
Okay, okay. You are in shifts, huh? Okay. So, guys, any questions regarding Vagrant file? What we are learned today? What is a Vagrant file? How we are going to have Shami, Venkat, Ram? Are you following me? Kumar, are you with me? You can also download the same softwares, and if somebody is already having this software, then we can move faster.
Yeah, we are also doing same thing, parallel.
Okay, good. So Shami, have you installed? Is it done?
No, no, I haven't installed it. It's like I'm doing it right now. It is taking
Ah,
time. I mean, as you can see, Vagrant, I think it's big file. I don't know. It is taking
ah.
time. So yeah.
So you are running on Windows 10, Shami?
Yeah, it's on Windows 10. Yeah.
Okay, good, good. How about you guys, Ram and Venkat? Venkat,
Uh,
are you?
Hey, no, I haven't downloaded. Actually, my personal laptop is not with me right now, so I'll do tomorrow.
Oh, okay, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So you're following, right? What I'm
Yes,
talking
yes,
about, Vagrant
yes, yes.
virtualization. Good,
Yep, yep.
good. And Kumar, how are you? Kumar, are you following me?
Yes, I'm following. Just
Oh,
download Vagrant, check the version also, it is working in the command prompt.
is it running? Install completed?
Yeah,
Okay, Kumar. So, have you installed the virtual box?
it's already there in my machine with some kind of old version.
Old version you have already virtual box. And
Yes, that's
Vagrant,
why
you
yeah, just now I downloaded Vagrant and
okay,
installed
okay.
it.
Good, good. Mm-hmm. And Mohan, how are you? Ram, are you following?
Yeah, Pawan, good. I'm good.
Thank you. So you have everything running on your system, Mohan?
No, not yet, Pawan, because I already implemented here in my
Ah,
PC, but it
okay.
will take time. Not now. Tomorrow I will be implemented on Vagrant with the installation of Kubernetes. Already done that one, but it will take
Ah,
time more than half an hour because my RAM is very less.
okay, okay. Cool. No problem. Okay, guys, I think we are running out of time. It's 8:30, but still it is installing. Installing takes some time because of the load on your systems or laptop, which are having already some processes running, are not enough space to run fast. So just check all those factors, and this installation is very simple, straightforward. So tomorrow session will be same time, and we'll do the continuation of this practical thing. Vagrant simple one box, we'll launch it, and then we'll start working on those and move on to the next topics. All right, guys, I will stop today's session now. Hope you everyone install Vagrant and Oracle VirtualBox on your systems. Thank you, guys. If you have no questions before winding up, I'll stop.